Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Women Making Herstory series. I'm your host today, Nancy Matthews, and I'm one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, along with my two sisters, Trish Carr and Susan Winter, and we are bringing you all throughout Women's History Month 31 extraordinary visionary women who are making herstory, much like you are making herstory. So I'm excited that you're with us, and I'm super excited to introduce to you LaWanna Bradford. Hi, LaWanna. So glad you could make time to be with us today.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, and I can't wait for everybody to meet you. We met, and for the longest time, couldn't even figure out how we ended up in each other's inboxes, right?
Right.
And oh, so grateful that it happened, because so much has occurred between us, and really feel like you're such a soul sister. And we're on similar missions for the betterment of mankind, mankind, I don't know. All of it. So today we're going to be talking with LaWanna on how she's making herstory. And let me first fill you in a little bit on this extraordinary woman who's sharing with us today. So LaWanna is a serial entrepreneur and global leader in the strategic planning and performance management arena. She's a thought leader and business management consultant who applies strategic thinking and business management concepts to maximize overall levels of efficiency and effectiveness and identify opportunities for improvement and growth. She is the COO of the Bradford Group, which is a commercial and investment mortgage brokerage, and the principal of the Bradford Group Consulting, which is a business management consulting firm. As a change agent, she leverages her 30-plus years of experience working with federal and private industries to guide individuals towards achieving growth, understanding their market position, and increasing awareness of the customers they serve. She believes life should be embraced in the moment of now, right now, and right now. That positive transformation in life and in business is achieved one strategy at a time. I am also pleased to share that LaWanna is the Metro Atlanta chapter leader for Women's Prosperity Network, and she's also been on numerous radio shows discussing economic trends and strategy. She has trained over 3,000 employees and C-suite leaders in strategic planning and performance management, and has worked domestically and internationally in helping large and small businesses optimize success. There's more. She is a growth strategist and has certifications in strategic planning, quality management, and Georgia Oglethorpe examination. She's a member of the Association of Strategic Planners, Association of University Women, National Association of Female Executives, Blacks in Government, Strategic and Competitive Intelligence Professionals, and is recognized as a cutting-edge leader in Stanford's Who's Who Society and Cambridge Who's Who Society. LaWanna is on a transformative mission to help people and businesses understand the art of strategic shift and flow in order to maximize opportunities and achieve success. Hello, hello, my very accomplished and beautiful, heart-centered friend, LaWanna.
Hello.
Hello.
That was long, wasn't it?
That was long. Well, you know what? You're very accomplished. You've been making herstory for 30-plus years, actually, even before that, I'm sure. Something in there struck me. And it's not often that I hear strategic planning referred to as an art.
Yes.
Especially sometimes women in particular, I see they go, oh, I have to do my strategic planning, and it feels, foreign or clunky. Yes. So talk about the art of strategic planning.
Sure. One of the things that, like you said, it feels like it's a task. And when you look at strategic planning that way as the exercise, as a tactical piece, it is just that. You're deciding, where am I, where do I want to go, and you're building a bridge, and you're just writing out. It's a writing exercise. Mm-hmm. But where it becomes an art is you realize that actual strategic shift and change occurs internally. It's a mindset. It's not an exercise. So that's where the art comes in, because you're literally tapping into the higher faculties of the mind. Mm-hmm. You're looking at reasoning and your will and your perception, imagination, intuition, all of that comes into play with strategic planning. So for me, it's just, I find it very fun when you realize that you're tapping into a greater genius within you.
It feels like, as you describe it, it actually feels like a playground.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're in your sandbox and you're just creating whatever it is you want. Yeah.
Wow. And you know what's interesting is, as I think about, my own experience with strategic planning and learning in school about doing that, it feels as though the way you approach it is strategic planning is about exploring all possibilities, like no holds barred. What would you really love to see happen?
Yes.
And then
It,
creating a path to get there.
right. And it's understanding all the intricacies around it. So the environmental impacts, what are the opportunities that are out there for you? What are the risks? How do you need to transform yourself to mitigate any threats that may impact you or your business? So it's really taking a very creative way at looking at your life and understanding that, we are who we think we are. And so it's the same thing with your strategy, with your business. Whatever you believe your business is, you're right. And and it's being able to take that, and like one of the things I teach is the art of shift and flow. So knowing how to navigate as life bends, and literally allowing your again, those higher faculties to guide you in setting strategies, setting those key directions for your life first, and then your business second.
Mm-hmm. So how did this come about for you? That you're on this path? Do you feel like you're doing what you were called to do? Going back to when you were a little girl, like, is this what you dreamed you'd be doing?
No, actually, I thought I was going to be a cardiologist.
Which is you got to be strategic if you're a cardiologist as well.
Yes. But it started when my first professional career was with Department of Defense, and that's where I was introduced with strategic planning. And that was when technology was doing radical shifts at that time. We were going from analog to digital. So really understanding how change in technology impacted humanity. So when I say that, it's like now we have to change our skill sets, looking at displacements, understanding the emotional intelligence and all of that was impacted by this new creature called technology and the advent of it. And what I realized is that, yeah, there's an exercise, but those that are great, that are successful, tend to expand beyond the exercise. Again, really getting into the mindset and understanding change before it happens. So typically true strategists are called change agents, because you're able to see changes. You're able to connect the dots before they even happen. You're able to see landmines and to navigate. So it's something that I think I grew into by happenstance. And then as I began to become a student of it, I realized that there was so much more that was deeper, and in some weird way, it's almost spiritually aligns, because again, of the higher faculties that you're tapping into. And so often we just stay focused on the rational mind.
Yeah.
And we miss the creative genius that's within us, but that's only acquired when you tap into the higher faculties.
Well, and as I'm hearing this, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this new way. It's a fresh approach to doing your business and being in your business. So what comes up for me is I see so many times where business owners are just kind of a slave to their to-do list, always doing, getting the next thing done. And then all of a sudden, when you're in that, bam, change can hit you upside the head.
Yes.
Whereas what I'm hearing from you is strategic planning has you step back from that to-do list, step into your own creative, and if you have a team, a consultant such as yourself, we're stepping into that, that blue sky opportunity to look at all the things that are out there.
Yes, exactly. and then allowing yourself to, one of my favorite philosophers, and you may chuckle at this, is actually Bruce Lee. People think about him as this great martial artist, but he had amazing philosophy, and one of his philosophies was about water. And he says water, if you put it in a cup, it becomes a cup. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Mm-hmm. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. So it's the same concept with strategic planning. It's being fluid, being that willow, being willing to bend.
I'm smiling because just yesterday morning I was reading, and this is also in the Tao, you know, the
yes.
And water is the most powerful substance.
Yes.
Because it's malleable, it flows. And when we can be like water, mm-hmm. then we are one with everything that we come across. So thank you for that. I enjoyed it. So talk with me and our viewers a little bit more of how do we step into a more strategic thinking mode, or what are some suggestions you have so we can tap into this?
I think the first thing is when you decide where you want to go, it's literally getting into that state of visioning that it becomes crystal clear that you can call it the law of attraction, but it's still a visioning state where you can see it, you can feel it, you can taste it. Once you get to that point, then you can rewind to where you are to say, okay, I see it. I've got that vision. I've made it plain. My eye is on that target. Now let me identify the steps that I need to do or the resources that I need to have to support me in order to guide me safely to that destination. So I think the most important thing before you start with, well, this is where I am and let me start, developing tactics, if you will, or action steps. Mm-hmm. Be clear, where is it that you want to go? Yeah. Where do you really want to go? And do you buy into your own vision? Because most people, they don't really believe it. So if you don't believe it, you're not going to get there. You'll never achieve it.
It's got to start. And I think in my experience, lots of people get stuck two places. One is they're almost afraid to dream and to vision it again from past disappointments. You have any suggestions on that side of it?
Being afraid to dream?
Yeah.
I think the fear of dreaming is a fear of failure, or the fear of not being accepted or laughed at.
Yeah.
And I think we have to realize that we have one life to live. And you can either choose to live it in fear or live it boldly and unapologetically and authentically and say, this is my dream, and whether you support it, endorse it or not, it's my dream. And just keep pressing toward it. And surround yourself with the right people who are going to encourage you and lift you up when you do bump and fall, because that will happen.
Yeah, that will definitely happen.
Over and over again. But by having that vision, you'll get up and you'll keep pressing toward that mark.
Yeah. And again, coming back to what you said about water, when you bump up against it, don't push against it. Learn how to go with the flow and the
yes.
So even as you talked about when you were at the Department of Defense and technology, this new thing called technology comes around, there were probably some people holding on to the old way of doing things. Oh no, that doesn't work. We can't do it like that. I can't let go. I still hold on to my paper, and I like my paper. I could keep notes on just, the phone, but resistance to change is oftentimes what will keep us stuck.
Yes. And that's the one thing that's constant, we know, is change.
Correct.
Yeah. So you just need to go with the flow.
Yeah. So in a moment, I'm going to ask about the woman in history that's had an impact on you. Just before I get there, I admire you. I have such respect for you. Our visions of creating a positive impact in the world related to women in business have aligned. My question for you is, what would you say has been your number one key to success you know, in the broadest sense, like to moving forward, to following that dream? What's been the one thing for you that has really made the difference?
Actually, there's two things, if I can share, and
Please.
it's real simple. And these were, I guess, words of wisdom, or those golden nuggets that both my parents gave me when I graduated from high school.
Mm.
My mom said to find some, I'm sorry, my father said, find something in life that you love so much that you would be willing to do it for free, and you'll never work a day in your life. And I've always followed that path. Every position I've taken, I've made sure that it brought me joy in some form or fashion. So I've never felt that I've worked. The other was my mom said to, and that you laughed when I first mentioned this to you, was learn from the mistakes of others because you can't live long enough to make them yourself.
Ooh, that was good. Say that again. That was good. Listen up.
Learn, learn from the mistakes of others because you cannot live long enough to make them yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And that's why we do have consultants and mentors and coaches in our lives that, you know, if I made a mistake and you can learn from it, let me save you from that one. You'll go make other ones. Right?
Yes.
We all do. We all do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for that. So tell us, who is the woman in history that's had the most impact on you?
I thought about that for a moment, and I have to go back to my mother. And even though my father has been my professional and actually personal mentor my entire life, my mom will be 83 this month. But what I reflected on is from my youngest memory, she has this giving spirit, just an amazing, uncanny generosity. And that's something that I always thought, if I could just be a fraction of the woman that she's been in the way she cares and gives of herself, then I would have succeeded in life. And she gives not looking for anything ever in return. There's never a what's in it for me, whether it was in business, you know, in her personal life. It was just that seed within her. That's what brought her joy and continues to do so. And so I think that, and I know, I shouldn't say I think, I know that that's what has shaped me into the servant leader that I am today. And I, again, like I said, I'm just a fraction of who she is. I've got still some living to do, and prayerfully, you know, I will impact as many lives as she has.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. And you are quite the servant leader, my friend.
Thank you.
So share with our viewers, she's got a gift for you to support you in next steps and strategic thinking. So can you describe what that is? And then you can click on the link below to get it.
Yes, there is an article about being your own boss, and it's, again, how to use strategic thinking and identifying where you are in your business, understanding your customers and market. And the other one is a 30-minute consultation with me. And really it's a webinar in a webinar format that will go a little bit deeper into the art of strategy.
Love it. Thank you for your generosity. That was very, very, very giving of you, and I appreciate it. So much more to be continued. I want to encourage everyone, reach out to LaWanna. And she's a model. She's a role model for what a true servant leader is, who couples an amazing spirit and giving nature with strategic thinking and business. These two things go together, and when they do, amazing success is available for you. So watch LaWanna. She's extraordinary.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you so much for making time to be with us today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be a part of this.
Awesome. Beautiful. And to all our viewers, thank you for tuning in as we keep sharing the stories of these amazing women making history, just like you are. So get on our Facebook page, join the movement on the other button below. Let us know how you're making history as more and more of us stand up and claim how we're making history. That's how we're making shifts in this world. So we thank you for being part of this series, being part of our journey, and check your inbox for the next episode in Women Making History. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. Bye, LaWanna.
Bye.